Hello, friends and foes, and welcome. My name is Todd, and today we begin the journey to make our world a little bit brighter. See, I have played World of Warcraft for much of my life, but there are a few things that I have never done. I have never healed, never played Horde on a hardcore realm, and I have never had to read quests. So, today, we begin an adventure, one that is going to have ups and downs, a story of heroes and villains, the adventure of Toddsir, the undead priest.
To the iron will of the tyrant Lich King, the vast undead armies of the Scourge seek to eradicate all life on Azeroth. Led by the Banshee Sylvanas Windrunner, a group of renegades broke away from the Scourge and freed themselves of the Lich King's domination. Known by some as the Forsaken, this group fights a constant battle, not only to retain its freedom from the Scourge, but also to slaughter those who would hunt them as monsters. With Sylvanas as their Banshee queen, the Forsaken have built a dark stronghold beneath the ruins of Lordaeron's former capital city. This hidden undercity forms a sprawling labyrinth that stretches beneath the haunted woods of the Tirisfal Glades. Though the very land is cursed, the zealous humans of the Scarlet Crusade still cling to their scattered holdings, obsessed with eradicating the undead and retaking their homeland. Convinced that the primitive races of the Horde can help them achieve victory over their enemies, the Forsaken have entered an alliance of convenience. Harboring no true loyalty for their new allies, they will go to any lengths to ensure their dark plans come to fruition. As one of the Forsaken, you must massacre any who pose a threat to the new order, human, undead, or otherwise.
Hello. Welcome. We've just loaded in. Fantastic, everything where I expected it to be. So it doesn't look like we're gonna have to take much time to set on villains. Okay. Yeah, fantastic. Just gonna check all loot at the moment. Oh, yeah, fantastic. That is all. So, welcome to our first episode. We're here in the undead starting area. As an undead priest. I made this character, and I'm starting this journey, or we're starting this journey, just to make the world a little bit brighter. The idea is I've never played a priest. I've never healed, and I'd like to heal through all the content that the game offers. But we're going to take this a little bit slower. Whereas a lot of modern games give you kind of checklist things to do, or modern MMOs also take you to a checklist. I want to try and challenge myself not to use Questy or rested XP and those kind of let's say. I want to be able to see how well WoW's interface and the ability to read the quest sets us up, essentially. So here we've got to kill 8 mindless zombies and 8 wretched zombies, so 16 things altogether to begin our journey. Have not played Horde in many of years. I was originally a Horde player when I started playing WoW. However, And my hardcore journey, I have been playing Alliance rather than Horde, as the population has been slightly more players on Alliance, the realms I play on. But some early things that I'm hoping will happen is that we will find some early bags. You'll notice the icons up at the top here. We are a self-found adventurer. I've never given a good go at self-found, and I am looking forward to the challenge that that poses. For those that might not know, what challenge is that? Well, self-found adventurer cannot trade. They cannot list things on the game's auction house, which is the trading economy, and we cannot trade between us and other players. So if we find anyone we want to give a gift to, or vice versa, they want to give something to us, unfortunately, we will not be able to. Now that's a self-imposed challenge, as is not using. But I'm very excited. This should slow our game pace down. And the reason I want to slow the game down for us is a lot of people these days just speed everything up. And it creates a lot of dopamine for people, but more so, it creates a lot of emptiness. My aims for this channel are to provide a safe space where everybody feels welcome, where everyone can just come and hang, look forward to weekly episodes of this journey, and just relax, get away from the hardships of every day. Our world is quite scary at the moment, and I think that being able to escape, have a place where you feel like you belong, is very important. And that's my goal here, to give you and myself somewhere where we feel safe, somewhere where we can speak what's on our mind, talk about worries, talk about the world, but do so with the crux of World of Warcraft, and talk about a little bit cooler of a world. Our world doesn't have zombies walking around in it, so we're big giant bats like that. So sometimes I do feel like a bit of a zombie personally, and I'm sure that you feel the same. So I invite you all to join me as we battle through Azeroth. As you can see, here's another player here, a level 1 rogue. He would probably beat me up if I tried to fight him, but luckily we are on the same side. The interesting thing that I think about this realm is that it is a hardcore realm. So, in essence, if this green bar here hits 0, if it becomes completely empty, we die. And if we die, that is the end of Toddsir's life, or, well, afterlife, let's say. Which is exciting. It gives a lot more stakes to the game, makes you maybe think about things a little bit slower, take your time to consider your options when going into difficult things, and everybody else is on the same level. Now, we spoke a little bit about building a community, and in my personal experience, the hardcore community has been wonderful. They are patient. Everybody tends to be dads who have got jobs, or mums who have got jobs, and they don't have time to countless hours and going back and forward. People here looking to enjoy the world rather than just breeze through it because they've got all the time in the world. Whoa, that person just buffed us, which is quite a big thing. In the terms of they give us a +3 stamina buff. Now, we actually have this buff ourselves. We are also a priest. Now, I'm just going to double check. I pre-made one macro for this in my test footage, which just allows me to buff over things that I can see, or mouse over. Now, you can imagine how useful that would be if we're going to be healing. You know, multiple people need healed at the same time. It lets me keep my focus on the main person to be healing, which usually is the tank, and you smack him while healing somebody else that may have taken some damage. So it gives me a lot more flexibility, but it's also very useful for buffing other players who are just out in the world. Quite nice. Here we are killing some skeletons, and the main thing that I'm really looking for at the moment is bag drop. If I get a couple of bag drops nice and early, it will make this character's life a lot more enjoyable. It means that we have more bag space. As you can see just now, we have 20 slots, which sounds like a lot, but I assure you, when every monster drops one or two things and they might not be in your bags, well, your bags fill up very quickly, particularly up the levels as well. So that's one of our big aims at the moment, find bags. There are a few ways that we can do this, approach this, one of which is professions. We could take is tailoring. Tailoring would make some amount of sense for this character, as it would let us farm cloth in order to be able to make bags, make clothes. As a priest, we wear cloth, so we might be able to make some better gear for ourselves. Would be quite nice. The pairing of professions usually is tailoring and enchanting. And enchanting is really good because it lets you buff your gear and the like. However, usually you would sell things that you disenchant on the auction house, and that's not an option for this character. There we go, we just hit level 3, which I should talk about how levels work in case you don't know. Every second level you will get new moves at your quest runner. So that is every even number. You see we got the buff move and Power Word Fortitude at level 2, and then level 4 we'll get a couple more moves. Off the top of my head, I think it is Shadow Ward Pain that we get, which is a damage over time. Now, these odd levels might feel less significant, but once again, we do only have one life. So, everything's significant. Everything is just that little bit more successful, that little bit further into the world. Once we hit level 10, we will be able to get talents. And talents come at every level, and they're one of the main ways that you can customize your character's abilities and what they're good at and what they're bad at. So for Priest, they have Discipline, Holy, and Shadow. Now, Shadow is usually concerned as the leveling spec, I think, the damaging spec. So if we wanted to deal damage, we would look to go Shadow. There are some smiting shenanigans, which is our main spell at the moment. But we want to go into healing, I think. We want to focus on group content and being able to keep people alive. Very much the theme of this is to make our world a little bit nicer. And one of the ways that we'll do that is by trying to keep people alive and support and help them get through this world. Because a world with zombies and skeletons walking around probably isn't the nicest place to be in. That's just my personal opinion. Or some people might agree or disagree with that. Regarding, again, coming back to professions, I haven't really decided. We get professions at level 5, so we've got another 2 levels before we can even pick them up. Something that might make sense is herbalism and alchemy. This would make sense because we could brew our own potions, which can help us get out of trouble. Something like a swiftness pot or even a health pot. Very, very valuable. Whereas herbing we'd be able to sell our herbs as well, though I don't know if there's anything that valuable. Kind of holy chalice of professions in hardcore tends to be mining and engineering, which is fantastic, as it lets you collect a new role. It's a new role. Yeah, mining and engineering lets you make bombs for killing groups of enemies, and it lets you make probably the single biggest thing is target dummies. Oh, sorry about that. And target dummies is an item that you can use. We'd throw it down, we'd be able to run away. This bat here would attack the target if we turned it down. We threw it down. Which is quite intriguing, but from my experience, engineering definitely clogs up. So maybe not the nicest for self-found challenge, because as you can see, our bags are already full, which is a little bit annoying. I think for some early levels, depending on our bag drops, there's a line of thought to go tailoring and skinning. Skinning lets you skin beasts, and it just means that anytime we kill a beast, a bat, a dog, or something like that, a wolf, we will get some extra loot and be able to sell that for some extra gold. I do think that this potentially makes some sense, though there is a world where, as I said, the alchemy and herbalism meets the lot as well. But we will see how we're feeling when we reach there. My plan for this is, we'll give him a buff. He helped me. Our bags are full at the moment, so I think that a trip back might be in order. It's not the most ideal. Again, I'd love to have had a bag drop. Look at that, double buff. Helping keeping people alive already. Oh, this guy's level 5. Ball.
What is it?
I'm back to finding some skeletons. We need 2 more walls as well, which I can't remember if there's any around this way. There are bats over here. Oh, there's one. They are. Maybe we'll get the 2 paws first. We can go hand in these quests. This video here is just a little welcome, a little hello, and to introduce myself. As I said in the intro, my name is Todd, and yeah, my whole mantra in life, my whole mythos, and what I aim and strive to do in my life is to make my corner of the world just a little bit brighter. I think that this is a worthwhile endeavor for that. You know, that warrior that we buffed has already has winked slyly at us, which in my mind says that he was grateful for the buff that we gave him. Kind of nice. Just helping everyone stay a little bit healthier. I need some skeletons. These guys are evasive by the looks of it. Oh, there's one. Get him. The way mob tagging works in this is the first person that deals damage to a creature is the one that gets the credit for killing it when it dies. So this rogue starts fighting somebody else over here. What buff he did. If he was to fight this skeleton, see how it's greyed out here, I would not get anything for killing the skeleton. Would just be the rogue. That doesn't mean it's not a nice thing to do, particularly if people are struggling to stay alive. I thought there'd be more skeletons done. Unfortunately, there are not. I'm gonna have to continue walking about, but look, there's one. Yeah. For add-ons, I'm trying to keep it as minimal as possible. At the moment, there are a few things. Oh, look at that! That is incredible. This is a blessed run. Having a bag. Look at that extra space. It means that we can carry more things, and by carrying more things, it means that we can sell more things. It means that our money, which we're going to be very strapped on, I think, for the first little while. Whenever we go and learn new moves, we have to pay for the trainer to teach us them. So, as much as I'd like to say that it was free to level up, it's not. And then the big thing that we're going to need is at level 40, if we can make it that far, you need 100 gold in order to be able to get our mount. A lot, if I do say so myself. Oh, that bag is incredible. It's one less bag that we either have to buy or that we have to make. Yes. Couple more of these skeletons, and then we can go back and hand in the quest. Add-ons. There are some add-ons I am using. You can see here. This is probably the most important one. This will tell me when I'm doing something wrong, which is the threat modifier. Healing causes threat. Essentially, when we are in group content, we don't want to be up at the top. When we're on our own, that's okay, because there's only one of us, so. Heal him. The other is a swing timer. I like having my frames here. Just, it kind of looks a bit more like a fighting game. Not that that's something I'm used to, but in terms of having my health bar in view at all times, kind of hard to ignore it when it's just there.
What is it?
think with this, take the bracers. With this, take those boots, those better. We are now level 4. Fantastic. You see? We get a new heal. Shadow Ward Pain. I'm going to take the Shadow Ward Pain, but I do not have enough for lesser heal too. Saying to yourself, Todd, you've just told me that you want to heal people. At these early levels, those healing spells, they're good, but they're not as needed. Eventually we will have to, eventually we're gonna have to stop and bring. Healing will become much more part of our rotation. So yeah, for just now, we're gonna have no questing. I can't guarantee that we will continue that way. I'm not all that familiar, but one of the ways that we are going to be slightly safe, we have this Deathlogs add-on here, where you can see other people when they have died. The main thing that this allows us to do is open our map and see red zones. These red zones are where people are most likely to get a quest that's in that area. Might hear from memory, quest is very sad. Samuel Fick remains. His wife and him lived together, but because of the undeath and the plague, he ended up killing his wife. Turned to the undead. Which is kind of harrowing, if I do say so myself. What is our other? Savage, good. Find some boxes. There. Pretty easy. And we have some spiders to kill. Going to be fun. The most dangerous places in war definitely are just certain death. Now this early one isn't too bad from memory. There is some hostile monsters. You can see here that this is yellow, this is neutral. When you have monsters that have red above their name is red, it means that they are hostile. They will on sight. Isn't ideal if you're trying to avoid combat. For example, if we were doing this quest, a hostile area, we would be killing all of these just to be able to get this. It's nice that these early monsters are neutral, friendly. Depends how you want to see it. I wouldn't call them friendly. They're not green. A little hand there. You can see now that this is grey. So he got the credit for the kill rather than me. Yeah. We'll kill some spiders. I'm hoping that from the spiders we can get another... yes, I'm hoping from the spiders we can get another bag, if I'm honest. So this would be a really, really strong start. This would be the run to good one. I usually see bags getting dropped as a sign that I am doing the right thing on her. Now, that's just my gut, and a lot of it is just luck. Though these early mobs do have a higher % chance. Many videos like this in my lifetime. So, if you're watching, let me know what you want to see. Do you want longer form content, this kind of slower pace, or do you want more edited content? More of a summary style. Both I can do. I thought to give an authentic feel to myself. Yeah, give an authentic feel. I thought I'd give a little bit more longer form, less edited, personally. I'm open to suggestions and thoughts. Where do you want to see the character go? What kind of things, challenges do you want to see the character take on? There is this add-on here that I have as well, which is Hardcore Achievements add-on. Won't lie, I'm not the most skilled player, particularly on Priest. But that could be a fun little side project for us. Or something for the future. We've got 3 more of these yellow spiders. It helps that they're a bit grey. We will be moving on to the more dangerous spiders. I think once we get back to town, that will be a good place to call this episode. One of my favorite things that undead have, every class has their own racials. And undead have kind of a get out of jail free card. The Will of the Forsaken provides immunity to charms and fears, meaning that if you get feared, you can hit this and... Oh, I did not see him there. These are one of the red spiders that will aggro on you. You can see I just walked up to him, started attacking me. The other skill that undead have is cannibalize. You can see here that my health 70%. I won't let me do it. Oh, it's only on humanoids and not undead. Yeah, it lets you heal just by eating the corpse. Fallen enemy. I got to kill 8 these. Might be okay. Interesting. Oh yes. As I mentioned before, caves are the most dangerous places in Hunt. You've got to come out this way and pass 2 or 3 things. you're probably exiting for a good reason. Either you're done with the quest, or alternatively, you've got yourself into a bit of a pickle. And it allows you, or it would stop you running out smoothly. I know that there is oh. They're going to be quite important for us, as they do provide good chance at a bag and rare materials and items. See how we can get on. Hopefully we don't pull this one. Here's a level 4. Now, you'll be noticing that I'm front loading a lot of my damage into the fight. This is because if you do not cast for 5 seconds, your mana gets to regen. It means that even while you're fighting, you're able to regarding the chest, we can actually see it here, so as long as other player doesn't run in and take it from us, should get it. Hey, is it going to have a bag for? Unfortunate. Have anything useful? That warrior. Obviously, he has killed some things. Yeah. Leaving. I have found as a good rule of thumb for playing WoW Classic is always be killing. Quests don't do as much as you think they do, other than the rewards that they give. Which is nice in a way, but you're always going to need to kill. You can see already our inventory is full. things. I will be, what popped up there is that somebody invited me to a guild. And I will be looking to join a guild at some point. However, that will not be somebody randomly inviting me to a guild.
What would you?
I think we've still got to bury the remains, don't we? I'd like to find a like-minded community of individuals,
Beware.
you know, make friends with and talk to and quest with, but that will be a little bit later down the line, I think.
What is it? Victory for Sylvanas.
And now afford the heal. Oh, strength level is a big one though.
And you are.
I think I'm going to empty my bags, and then we can call it quits for this episode just now.
Exactly what you need.
From there, Toddsir. Hope that you all enjoyed this episode. Hopefully get another bag when we finish the Scarlet Crusade, which is the next set of quests that we do. Yeah. If you have made it this far through the video, I would like to take a moment to say thank you. I hope that you will join me for the adventures that lie ahead. Once again, if you do have any recommendations, thoughts, feelings, insults, feel free to leave a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like, and if you want to see Toddsir heal the world one spell at a time, I hope that you will subscribe so that you can join along on this journey. Stay safe, friends, and as always, aim to make your corner of the world just a little bit brighter.